Hello. Today's video I'm going to go over some of my favorite books that I read in 2024. I wanted to make this video a while ago, or just for my own purposes, kind of like reflect on what I read and see what I really liked. I do have it logged in Goodreads. These 5 books all have 5 stars. There's a few others that I got 5 stars as well, but I do not currently own them. But yeah, these 5 that I owned, they could be top 5, really, and not much of a particular order. To kick us off, we have The Secret History by Donna Tartt. You can see there's like a Greek person on a Greek statue. This book's really cool. It takes place at a small college in Vermont. It's a small liberal arts college, and early on, before you even start the book, I think it's on the back of the page, you find out one of the main characters dies / gets killed, and throughout the book you're trying to figure out, are they going to get caught? It goes through the social dynamics of the friend group. This friend group's really weird. They study Greek mythology, and they're kind of exiled from the rest of the school. They're just snooty, pretentious, weird people. They wear tweed jackets to class, and nobody really dressed like that, and they were just super strange. And the main character, when he first gets to college, sees these students and is just enthralled by them and wants to be a part of their little clique. And he also loves the main teacher. So this whole course, this whole major, is taught by one professor at the school for 4 years. So these students really are just alienated from everybody else. But it's really interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people said it was boring. It can be at times, but I really enjoy the dialogue of the characters and just how absurdly pretentious they were. And the writing's great. The writing is also kind of pretentious, but it's so over the top. You can tell it's goes along with the book well. I wouldn't take it too serious. It's just to show how strange these students are. And yeah, it's a great book. It's just called North Woods by Daniel Mason. There's a cool panther, catamount, cougar type person on it. This is a hardcover. This book I loved. Obviously, it really just takes place at this house in Western Mass. That's really the main character of the book, is this house, and you see the people come and live and inhabit it over the course of a couple hundred years or so, really. And one of the main characters, or the backbone of it, is this English soldier who flees the war and moves here and just kind of leaves his life behind and has his own family there, and he starts an apple farm. And then his daughters live there, and they do weird stuff there. And then they die and move on, and more people come and go. There's a con man that lives there. These weird, like, spinster twins live there. Those actually might be the twins from the first ones. I'm not sure. But all this cool stuff happens. It's semi-haunted, and there's even a chapter about a beetle that lives there. It goes into the catamount or tiger or panther that lives there. And the book's it's really nice. I mean, I would recommend buying this. I think libraries are good enough. You don't really need to own every book that you read, but this is a pretty unique book to own. There's really cool art in it. There's that. Not really sure what that is. Maybe a plant or something. There's other cool paintings in here. Paintings, pictures, whatever you want to call it. Like there's that. It's great. Some of the chapters are unique too. There's one chapter where it's about two men writing letters to each other, um, and that's just the chapter. And each chapter it's a bit different. It goes into each person that's living at the house, and it all kind of ties in at the end. And it's also just like ties in general. And it's creepy. Like sometimes when I'm driving around New England, I'm like, hey, I think that looks like the house from the book. Um, but yeah, it's great. You have Dune. Dune's classic. Frank Herbert. Dune is old. I didn't know this. It was published in 1965, which is crazy. So yeah, some folks say it is science fiction's supreme masterpiece. It's actually on the cover of this 40 edition book. I haven't read too much science fiction, but I agree. It is a masterpiece. I didn't really know too much about Dune other than watching Dune Part 1, the movie, which was great. And then I saw Dune Part 2, what was going to be made. So I wanted to read the book before I watched Part 2. And that really made my experience watching the movie much better. Love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies I've seen. As one of my favorite movies of this century, decade, whatever it was. But yeah, the book's great. It's pretty long. It's like 600 pages, just over 500. But I wouldn't be too intimidated by it. It's really not that scary to get into the universe. You really pick up on it quickly, and it's just a whole nother. It's a whole nother universe. It's the world building in it is crazy. I honestly want to read. I'd rather just. I kind of want to reread it. There's like 4 other books in the series, but I heard they're not as good. But they're probably still worth picking up. So maybe I'll do that at some point. And then we have East of Eden by John Steinbeck. I wasn't sure if I wanted to include this book in my top 5. I know they're not ranked, but maybe this is the 5th. Surprisingly, it is a classic. Some say it's America's, greatest novel, which I don't disagree with. It is phenomenal. If you're not familiar, it kind of like retells the story of, I guess, Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, which I'm not super familiar with, but yeah, it takes place in the California desert in the 1840s, 1960s. I forget, but it's a great book. Honestly, if you never read it, you should definitely read it, especially if you live in America. It really is a classic, and it's a book you should own too. It's just a relic, honestly. Last book here, we have All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. I've read a good amount of McCarthy. This was my 4th book from him, and I wanted to like him as an author. The first few books I read from him were Blood Meridian, which was just too crazy and intense, and it was difficult, and I didn't really know what was going on. No Country for Old Men, which I've seen the movie a few times. And the book's great. It is, but I don't know. And then The Road as well, which I read a while ago and saw the movie. And it's a great book. There's a few scenes that I just like randomly think about. But again, I didn't really love it. This was the first book that I read by McCarthy that I loved. This would be like a top 3 of this pile, maybe top 2 from last year. Maybe it's my favorite book from last year. I really like it. It just takes place on the Texas. Is it Texas? No. Arizona? No, it is Texas. Yeah, Texas ranchers, obviously. And they just go from Texas to Mexico, back and forth. This young 20-year-old kid with his friend Blevins, and or not Blevins, I forget, but whatever. It's awesome. I would definitely pick it up, especially if you're interested in Westerns and like to read Westerns. It's great.